The Fantech Helios II Pro S is here, and it's the latest evolution in the Helios line. This mouse continues the trend of companies borrowing from Zowie's legendary shapes that have really been overlooked for far too long. As someone who's never owned or even used a Fantech mouse before, I had no idea what to expect, but I've been testing this mouse for about 2 weeks now, and my experience with it might surprise you. Before we jump into the review though, drop a comment below with your current main mouse and what game you play most. I'd love to hear it. Taking a look at what we get in the box, we get the mouse, a 4K polling rate dongle, a braided USB-C to USB-A cable, grip tape, extra mouse skates, both the stock style as well as the dot skates, some stickers, and a giant golden coin. Why a golden coin? I have no idea, but I can say that Fantech is the first company to include one with their mouse.
Nice.
The mouse is packing a 3395 sensor, which has been the standard for the last 2 years at this point. The mouse is capable of running at 4K polling in wireless mode and 8K polling when plugged in. I will note, however, that the included USB cable is rather stiff, so if you're looking to use this mouse in wired mode, you may want to invest in a separate cable. This time around, Fantech ditched the optical switches that they were using in the previous versions of the mouse in favor of Huano Blue Shell Pink Dot switches. In the mouse community, these have become the gold standard when it comes to the weight of the switch press and the tactility provided from it. Here is a quick sound test of the switches. The mouse also has the ability to operate in Bluetooth mode, which is a really nice feature if you want to pair the mouse with a second PC or if you want to travel with it for work. I love the implementation of the physical on-off switch on the bottom and the separate DPI button. This is more intuitive than what some other brands are doing. The build quality on the mouse is perfect. There are no creaks, no squeaks, no rattles. Everything from the switches to the scroll to the skates and the sensor have all been exceptional, and I have had zero issues whatsoever. The coating on this mouse is amazing and reminds me a lot of the coating found on Zowie mice. It does show a lot of fingerprints, but it is very grippy without feeling restrictive. I think this is an S tier coating. The shape of this mouse is almost identical to the Zowie S2. The mouse is a bit on the smaller size, and though I typically prefer something a bit longer, I did adjust to it pretty quick. I think this shape will accommodate all but the largest hands, and compared to something like the Viper V3 Pro, the hump rises a bit sharper in the back and feels very similar to the hump of the GPX, with maybe the width of the Viper. If this mouse was just a bit larger, I think it would be a no-brainer to main for me. One thing I do want to touch on real quick is just how much I like the scroll wheel of this mouse. It has very sharp and tactile steps, and the pressure required to press it in is perfect. I am truly amazed at the heat Fantech is bringing with this mouse. The Helios 2 is a very versatile shape that works for most grip styles. My hand is 19.5 by 10 centimeters, and the shape of this mouse was really comfortable. It is small enough that people can use fingertip grip, but large enough that even with larger hands, you can get a comfortable claw grip or palm grip. I typically prefer mice that have a bit more length, but I really had no issue with this in a relaxed claw grip, which is my preferred grip style. I love mice that have very versatile shapes, and this mouse is definitely one of them. It provides great stability and support where I need it, while still allowing me to have lots of mobility for making small micro adjustments. So what could Fantech improve with this mouse? Honestly, the list is pretty small. I do wish that the battery indicator was somewhere more visible versus just being on the bottom of the mouse. I typically like when it's on the side or on the top, and I did have the mouse die on me one time in game because I didn't notice that the battery was low. The only other thing that I would have to complain about at all is the fact that the included USB cable is rather stiff, and since wired 8K polling is a primary feature of this mouse, anyone looking to take advantage of it would need to buy a separate cable, and that is a bit of a downer. But really, that's it. Everything else on this mouse is S tier and deserving of the S in its name. Mice like this make it harder and harder to recommend things like the Viper V3 Pro from Razer, or the ULX from Final Mouse, or even the Logitech G Pro Superlight 2. This mouse, for $100, does it all, and it does it well. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, drop a comment down below, and subscribe for more content like this. And if you want to check out another video I did recently, click this link here and you can check out the video where I tried a glass mouse pad for 30 days.